everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a review on Coastal Scents. So if you're unaware of what Coastal Scents is, it's a very affordable makeup brand that you can order online at coastalscents.com. They don't have any main retailers and you can't find it in stores as of right now. But today specifically I'm going to be reviewing their eyeshadows. This is not a sponsored video. I purchased all of this on my own, although Coastal Scents, if you're watching, that'd be really cool if you would partner with me. Anyways, so yeah, if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe down below and let's jump into this. Alright guys, so like I said, I'm reviewing Coastal Scents today. I did purchase all of this on my own. I have one full palette that I customized. They have a lot of options. They sell eyeshadows, they sell some bath products. They have blush palettes, bronzer palettes, ready-made palettes, individual eyeshadows, lip stuff, hair stuff, so they have a huge variety of products and it's all 100% cruelty-free, which is awesome, and they do recycle a lot of their old products and things like that to help the environment. So it's a really great and affordable makeup brand. They are probably best known for their Revealed palettes. They have the Revealed, the Revealed 2, Revealed 3, Revealed Smoky. And they are kind of dupes for the Naked palettes. That's what they're really best known for. You can find a lot of those on Amazon as well. However, if you go to the Coastal Scents website, you can buy individual palettes, much like this, and they have other palettes besides the Revealed ones. And then you can buy individual shadows, which is what I did. I bought a lot of individual shadows and I created my own palette based on shadows that either A, I don't have, or B, I love cool tone shadows, and that's really hard to find a palette that is full of cool tone shadows or has only cool tone shadows. So I just went ahead and scrolled through their individual shadow list, which they call hot pots. So I just went through and I picked out a bunch of hot pots that I loved and created my own palette. So the palette that I have right here is really nice. It's really hard plastic, really durable. It comes with this really nice big huge mirror. So they have a few different options. They have a little square quad palette, so you can make your own quad. It is $3.95. They have little individual, they call them Go Pot holders. It's just one single eyeshadow holder, so you can buy that. Then they have the 12-piece palette, which is the one that I bought. It fits 12 of their shadows. Each shadow is 1 inch in diameter, to give you a little idea. And they have two versions. They have one that comes with a mirror like this, and then they have one that is a clear front, so if you close it, you can see what's inside. Probably better for makeup artists. You don't have to open each palette to see what's inside. But for me, I really like having a mirror. And then they have a 28-piece palette, so it's one that's just going to be a little bit bigger. Same thing, they have one with a clear front, one that comes with a mirror. So a little few different things that you can do. Also, if you had a Z palette, you can just buy the hot pots and put them in a Z palette, of course. And then each of the hot pots, let me take one out for you. Here's what it looks like. Like I said, it's 1 inch in diameter. Let's see, you get 1.5 grams in each of the hot pots, and then they say the name of the individual shadow on the back of it, and then they just slide right into the makeup palette. It's just magnetized. You just plop it in, and there you have it. So each hot pot retails for $1.95. So it is extremely affordable, and they do a lot of sales where their hot pots will go on sale for 99 cents. That happens to be the time that I bought most of my shadows. So I created this whole entire thing when I bought them on sale for 99 cents. I bought 12 shadows and the palette, and I got it for $24. So I created my own entire personalized palette for $24, and that is insane. That is so good and so affordable. It's amazing. So I really love this. It was shipped extremely fast too. I only paid for the lowest shipping, which I think is usually 5 to 7 business days, and I got it in about 4. So for me, that is incredible. So I'm just gonna jump in and tell you like all the shadows that I got, tell you a little bit about them. I also want to throw out that, so if you compare these to Makeup Geek shadows, which are really, really popular, you can also buy those online. Makeup Geek shadows come with 1.8 grams, where these ones come with 1.5. And Makeup Geek shadows are $6 for a pot. And these ones, like I said, are $1.95. So I think quality-wise, they are the same, and both brands are cruelty-free if that's something that you're really concerned with, which is something that I love. So yeah, that just kind of gives you a reference point when you go off of them. So anyways, let's jump into it. So I'm going to start with this top row. I'm just going to go this direction across the top row, and then to here, and then to there to describe like the names of the shadows and yada yada yada. And I'm gonna insert a picture like right here with some swatches and the names next to them. So yeah, there you have it. Alright, so hot pot number 1. I keep digging my nails into these every time I open them or try and pop them out. Oh no, it sounds like we have a storm rolling in. Welcome to Louisiana. Alright, so this is hot pot number 1. This one is called Pink Silver. So it is a semi-sheer shimmer shadow. Tongue twister, might I add. And when you apply it on the eye, I have it as my inner corner highlight today. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that really well. It looks very like wet and very metallic. So it's kind of like a baby pink with some silver reflect in it. And I think this one is awesome. Now, all of these shadows do have some kickback. They're kind of powdery, but yet like when you feel them, they feel buttery and smooth. But they are kind of powdery when you dip your brush in. But that's pretty average. Like I compare it to my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and it has the same amount of kickback as the Chocolate Bar palette. So realistically, that's not that big of a deal to me. I don't feel like you're losing that much product, and they're only $1.95 per hot pot, so really it's just not that big of a deal. Like you're not losing a lot of product, and it's not extremely expensive. So that's my personal opinion upon the matter. So anyways, yeah, a baby pink with some silver reflect. It looks very icy, it looks very cool toned. Like I said, I have it as my inner corner highlight today, and I just love it. I think it's really, really wonderful. The next shade I have is Peach Silver, and this is like a pinky peach with some silver reflect in it. It's another semi-sheer shimmer shadow, but I personally think this is the least shimmery shadow that I purchased. When I used this one on the lid, I used it all over the lid yesterday as my eye look that I had done yesterday, and by the time I had gone back and blended out the crease, like I went through and tried to blend out the edges, I really felt like the shimmer kind of disappeared. It just turned into like this peachy shade on my eye, which it wasn't terrible, it didn't look ugly, but I wanted that shimmeriness. So I think with this one, even when you look at it in the pan compared to the other shimmer shadows, I think it is the least kind of metallic that I purchased. And I think it's best applied wet or with your finger. I think you're going to get the most shimmer payoff with either of those options. The next shade I have is called Aluminum Taupe, and it is a taupey color with some silver reflect. I think this one is beautiful if you love cool tone shadows and you aren't into like icy silver, but you don't really want a brown. It's kind of like in between those two. This is going to be the perfect shadow for you. I love taupey colors. It's kind of what it looks like right there. I think they are beautiful. Great for year round. I think they look great with brown or blue eyes. I think hazel eyes, it can kind of wash your eyes out and make them look really gray. So that's just kind of my opinion upon the matter. Alright, the next shade I have is called Caramelized. Here's what it looks like. It's like a gold color, or sorry, it's like a bronze color with some gold reflect in it. I think it is beautiful, really great for blue eyes. It's really going to make them pop. I don't think that this one is super powdery. I didn't get a lot of fallout when I applied this one to the eye. I do think it's probably the most shimmery shadow that I purchased. I think it's great if you love like a coppery, a brown, or a rose gold eye, I think it's really going to look wonderful on every eye color. The next shadow I have is called Bermuda Sand. Here's what it looks like. This one looks very different in the pot than it did online. So this is a semi-opaque satin shade. And personally online it looks more like a khaki shade with a little bit of silver glitter in it. And then when you look at it in the pan, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell right now, but it doesn't have any shimmer in it. It looks straight up matte, and it looks more like a greenish khaki color, like more of a green, like a forest green undertone than it does kind of like a khaki tan color. So I think it's still beautiful. I use it as a transition shade. I think it looks wonderful. It blends out beautifully. None of these shades that I'm talking about have an issue with blending. None of them go on patchy. None of them have trouble blending out. You don't have to work very hard at any of them. So I think it's a really, really great quality. It wasn't exactly what I looked for. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I still actually really love this one. Alright, so the next one I have here is Brownstone, and it is an opaque matte, and I will agree with that. This one is super duper opaque. Like, you better be light-handed if you don't want to have brown all over the place. But it looks like, again online, like it has a hint of silver shimmer in it, but yet when you look at it in the pan, it's completely matte. So I think that it doesn't exactly match the picture online. It literally just flew across my room. Alright guys, it looks okay. It didn't crack or anything. I think I just died a little inside. That was terrifying. But anyway, so it doesn't look like the picture it has online, in my opinion. And they call it like a medium brown, but I think this is like a very cool tone dark brown, in my opinion. I think it's wonderful. Again, if you like cool tone colors, browns are very difficult to find in a cool tone shade. All browns, almost every brown that you're ever going to get in palettes are either a medium tone or a warm tone. It's very, very difficult to find a like chocolatey cool tone brown because they tend to look really muddy on a lot of people. But in my case, I have a very cool undertone, so it doesn't tend to do that on my eyes. So if that's something that you're looking for, I really, really suggest that color. And then the next one I have is called Coconut Husk. So this is a semi-opaque matte color. Yet again, this is another one online. It looks like it has a little bit of shimmer in the pan, but in person it's just 100% matte. And they call this kind of like a warm toned brown, and I would agree with that. It does have a bit of a warm tone, kind of light, soft brown, but it's not so warm tone that it looks orange. That's my concern with a lot of warm tone shades, is that they do look too orange. This one is just like a medium to light soft brown with a tinge of warm undertone under it. But in my opinion, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful if you want to just put this in the crease and some mascara and call it good, if you don't want to do a full eye look, or if you're looking to have kind of more of a deeper vampy eye, like a very cool toned eye, but you just want something like a hint of warmth in the crease. I use this as my transition shade in that case, and I think it looks beautiful. Alright, the next shade is called Maroon Berry, and this is going to be my best friend this fall. Cranberry shades are so difficult to find. They're always sold out online, but this one is an opaque matte. Yet again, I think this one shows a little bit of shimmer online and it doesn't have any in person. It is a cranberry shade. Now they call it a reddish brown cranberry shade online, and more, in my opinion, it's a cranberry shade with a little bit more of the deep violet undertones. I don't think it's so much red brown. I think it's more of the deep violet undertones. And it is beautiful, especially if you have cool tone skin. I think the reddish cranberry shades can look like a little too red on your skin. You get too much of that red color coming out. But the purple just makes blue eyes pop. It looks great on cool tone skin, just because purples tend to look a little bit better on cool tone skin. So I love this color. I did just look today and it is still sold out online. But they're pretty good at getting their products back in stock, so I would keep your eyes out for this one for this fall if you love cranberry shades. And the next one I have, oh, also by the way, I used Maroon Berry as my crease shade today. I did use Maroon Berry as my crease shade today, and I think... Can you hear that? I did not think it was supposed to rain today. This is gonna ruin my evening. Anyways, so yeah, I used it as my crease shade today. I think it looks gorgeous in the crease. Wonderful color, wonderful pigment. It blends out like a dream. So the next shade I have is Antique Lilac. Here's what it looks like. They call this one an opaque matte, and I do think it's very, very opaque. It's like a deep lilac with a hint of more of the baby pink undertones than the purple undertones. I think it's more on the pinky side. I use this as my transition shade today. I'm not even sure if you're going to be able to see it on my eyes right now, but I think it's beautiful. It's definitely a very buildable shade, so if you want a cool toned pink to use as like a transition shade or a crease shade or an all over eyelid shade, I think this is a great one for you. And the next shade I have is just called Lavender. Here's what it looks like. This one is an opaque shimmer shade. This one is probably the most powdery shadow that I bought. I noticed today it's the one I have all over my lid today. It did keep the shimmer when I applied it, but I got a lot of fallout from it, and definitely when you pick it up, like, you need to tap that brush off a few times to really get the excess off your brush. It's very, very powdery. However, obviously it did apply very well. I had to apply a few layers. If you applied this wet, that would get rid of that problem. I just applied it dry today to see how it would perform. So definitely if you apply it wet, it'll solve that problem. Also, I think it's just a great, beautiful deep purple, very universal, gonna look great on everyone. And I don't feel like the shimmer disappeared once I blended it out. The next shade I have is called Limeade. Now this one I bought just because I kind of wanted something that's a little more out of the box that I don't have in my collection. And this is definitely like an opaque shimmer shade. It goes on like a neon green with some gold reflect in it, and it is actually very beautiful on the eyes. I think it'll work great for hazel and brown eyes, a bit better than blue eyes, and I think it would look wonderful on all skin tones. I don't think it's gonna wash you out or look kind of funny or anything like that. It's a very unique shade. I haven't seen anything else like this. I don't think it's one that's going to be like my everyday go-to shade. But if you're into those neon colors, if that's what you do every day, then that's going to be a great shade for you, and you go for it, girl. And the last shade I purchased is this one, which is called Dreamsicle. Now this is very much a semi-opaque shimmer shade, and it is orange with silver reflect. It is very, very orange. You can tell the difference specifically when you pair it next to Peach Silver, which I showed you earlier. This one is Peach Silver and this one is Dreamsicle. You can tell the difference. Like, Dreamsicle is very, very orange and Peach Silver is much more pink. I think this one is also beautiful. I think it's really great for blue eyes. It's really gonna make them pop. I do think this one is extremely wearable. You can wear it on an everyday basis with some browns in the crease. And it definitely turns out much more muted on the skin. It's not going to look like a neon orange once you apply it to the eyes. Now, if you were to apply it wet with a wet brush, I think it will show up much more vibrant, like a bright orange. If that's what you're going for, then that's going to be the way to apply this one. But if you're just looking to see if you can wear this as like an everyday eyeshadow, just apply it dry with some browns in the crease, like a soft, much more like the cool tone brown that I showed you earlier, like brownstone with some coconut husk in the transition area, or just with your bronzer, whatever bronzer you use. I think that's going to be a great way to go for this shade, and it'll be very, very wearable. Alright guys, so that is everything. I'll insert a little video here on this eye look to show you how the eyeshadows perform right here at the end of the video. So if you're interested in seeing that, then just stick around after I say goodbye, and you can kind of get an idea of how they work and how they blend out and how they apply onto the eyes. If you guys are interested in seeing a tutorial with these eyeshadows, just leave a comment down below. And also, if you have some favorite Coastal Scents eyeshadows that I don't have in my collection, leave me a comment down below so I can put it on the list for the next time I order. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm sorry it's kind of a long one. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys later.